Yay! Okay, we're live. Cool. Awesome. Fantastic. Okay, so what we're doing today is a weird special hangout. And so we're live. I'm waiting for people to come on because what we're going to do is we're going to create a look collaboratively together. So as people trickle in and start asking questions, I'm going to be developing a look. So we are going to start with this. This is a face chart. See? So we're going to be developing a face chart. You start with a blank canvas that has very basic features on it, almost nothing. You've got eyes, you've got a nose, you've got a mouth. I would have printed this off of the computer because if you Google face chart, you'll find these, but our printer is all messed up. So I drew it on a paper towel because I'm innovative. So as people trickle in, again, like I said, we're going to be working on this together. So I'll start by talking a little bit about some of the tools that I have and some of the tools that I like using. So I am going to start with the basic thing that pretty much as soon as you start getting into working on makeup, you've got to really start using these. And I have two cameras so that when I start actually working on stuff, I'll flip over to this camera and you can see there's my face again. It's right there. So as I'm looking in this mirror that I have here, I can look at myself and you can still see what I'm doing closer up. And then you can also see what I'm doing from over here on this very nice camera. Now this may go on for a while. Yay, there's viewers! Hi! So this may go on for a while, but it just is going to go on as long as it takes to have something done. So as you've got suggestions and questions, post them in the Q&A tab. I'll be monitoring that as I'm going, because I'm doing it by myself. So yeah, we are going to be making a look today, starting from nothing. Nothing. So put your suggestions of what you want to see. If you want to see sci-fi, if you want to see fantasy, if you want to see gore, you want to see whatever, let me know. And I'm looking at all the cameras, and I'll help out with that. So Q&A tab, ask your questions there, and I will try to monitor them as they come in within reason. Or just say hi, because I'm in a room by myself, so maybe I'm lonely. Okay, so I'm going to start with the tools that I love to use. This is one of my two brush sets. This one, these are really, really cheap. I got them from Coastal Scents. They are great. Hi! Hi back! Okay, they're great because I have, it's a 22-piece brush set. And this is not all the way filled because I have some over there. But it's a great, great brush set for when you're getting started because it's not that expensive and you can have a bunch of different types of brushes to fill out your collection when maybe you don't know exactly what you need, which is what happened to me. So I'm going to click OK. Sweet. Hi, Alex. Okay, so what we're going to be doing next, or I want to talk about next, is some of the palettes that I have. Now, palettes are really great because you don't know what you're going to need in the future. If you like, okay, so this is like a commercial palette. This is like a beauty palette. It's from Urban Decay. And so you see there's like 6 colors in there. They're all very, you know, shimmery and girly, and it's meant to have a certain amount of looks. What I have are these palettes, which are more industrial. This is Bill Nye, or Ben Nye, not Bill Nye, Ben Nye. And you see, hi Sophia, oh my gosh, there's people, Abigail, hi, Alex. Okay, we've got horror and fantasy coming in. So I'm just gonna go through and figure this out. Now we can, if you have specific questions, we can go through this. I am the only one monitoring this, so going through questions is going to take some time. But yeah, so this is a concealer palette. Now this has a bunch of different colors on it. This is great because if you're working with a bunch of different people, you don't know what their skin tone is going to be. Or if you want to just give them a slightly different color, like you might want to talk about, like if you want to make them look more red, you can use more of a red. If you want to make them look more sick, you can use a yellow tone. Also, there's another thing that you can do where if you want to cover up a red spot, you use green because it's opposite on the color chart. So we can talk about the color wheel later if you are all interested in that too, because color theory is really important and interesting. So this is another thing. These are greasy, so they go over latex really well. And hi, and all these people are cool. I like you guys. You guys are my friends. Awesome. I'm having so much fun with this. This is way more like chill than we usually do things around here. And I'm just gonna, as I'm reading all of the things that you are all saying, I'm just clearing them so that I can see more things coming through. So I'm definitely seeing fantasy and sci-fi, and then a mask that is, I'm probably not going to follow that link because I don't want to risk it screwing up the hangout. But if you tell me a little bit about the mask, I might be able to do something along those lines. If you can see this right here in the background, this is a mask that I sculpted. It's two snakes that are the eyes, and then their bodies twist around. And soon, hopefully, I'm going to be able to cast that and be able to actually wear it. I've been talking with Margaret Kerrigan, actually, who was on the other day, about doing that, and also Sean Thorson, who does really cool props for us. So check out Margaret Kerrigan and Sean Thorson for really cool stuff. You would love to see a Bill Nye makeup palette. I know, me too. That would be amazing. So, Ben Nye is beautiful. It's fantastic. I love it. I also have just a really simple 10 blush palette, because why not? Most of the things you'll see that I have in like big quantities are by Coastal Scents, and the only reason why I buy from them a lot is because it's super cheap, they're pretty pigmented, and they have a lot of colors, so I can just prepare for anything. I also have, this is one of my favorite things, is a contour, blush, and highlight palette. So this is more for beauty makeup, but it's actually really helpful just to have big colors. And then I also have, this is my favorite for sure, this is my favorite. It's an 88 color palette. So this is why we're going to be able to do so many cool things today, because I'm prepared for a bunch of different colors. So as we decide what we want to do today, we've got a ton of options. Also, I have this giant bucket that I threw most of my other makeup into, which is eyeliners and loose colors. I got puff paint in case we want to make weird muscles. Tell me early if you want me to do that. I don't have any plastic. I can probably do it on there. Okay, so I can maybe make this work. The puff paint takes a long time to dry. I'm sorry, I didn't prepare for that before. But if we want to, I can try to do that. This over here, and then I've got some rigid collodion. This stuff is cool. This stuff is, it's mostly either done by Mayron or Krylon, but mostly I see it by Mayron in the little packages. And this, you put it on your skin and it's liquid, and as it dries, it pushes in your skin. It doesn't hurt, but it actually makes a set-in indent onto your skin, and it looks awesome. So as you do that, it'll dry and push in and make a really great scar. You don't want to do these too many times in a row because it will take off a little bit of the dead skin. But if you've done this in the same place over and over again, it'll stop taking off dead skin and start taking live skin. Thank you. So, yay, we have a real face chart now because the printer decided to work. Woo! So this is what a face chart looks like. So we're going to, I can show you how to do scars, and hi more people, yay. Let me just do things over here. This is working out well, guys. I'm having fun. I'm so happy people showed up and I'm not just sitting here by myself. I was afraid. Okay, so I'm just going to scroll. Cool. So this is a face chart. Now you all can print yours at home and come up with your own ones. I would love to see what you come up with. You can use like colored pencils to draw on this and then use that to translate. I drew one on a napkin earlier, which is actually not a bad idea because the texture of the napkin, you can use your eyeshadows and things like that and actually be able to draw right on there. So maybe I could do one horror, one fantasy and see what comes up. So I am going to play around with some stuff here. So I've got a lot of, I'll just grab as many of these pencils as I can. I am such a fan of cheap pencils. And not like regular drawing pencils, but makeup pencils. So every time I can find them for very little money, I pick them up. So I've got reds and blues and purples and cool colors. Let's see. There's a lip liner here. This is a lip liner. It's creamy, and I love using this one for the rigid collodion. And I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to show you how rigid collodion works because it's awesome. So we're going to take that out of the package. Like She-Hulk. Ha! Throwing things. As you can see, I'm making a mess. I'll have people clean it up. Somebody will handle that. So, what I like to do, I'm just going to show you on my hand so that I can hold it up to the camera. So here's my hand. It's fluorescently white and great. So, let's, I'm just going to get Ah, you guys are commenting so fast, I can't even handle it. It's awesome. You're my people. And I'm so happy to see familiar names in here. Alien face mask. Has some horns. You could use some tips. Cool. So let's see if we can maybe work on that as well, and we'll come up with alien designs. So why don't you write to me and tell me what kind of features this alien has? Does it have big eyes? Does it have no nose? Does it have all of these things? And we'll talk about it. And also, what do you want to use it for? This is important. If it's going to be for film, like with Voldemort having no nose, they just covered it with green, and then they green screen took it out. But if you're doing this in person, you don't have those options. So these are great things to think about. You have to think about when you're going to wear it, how long you're going to wear it, all this stuff together. So while we're chatting about that, let's talk about this. So I'm going to just make a scar on my hand here. I'm going to hold it up this way. And you are not on that camera. Yeah, cool. There's another angle. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to start drawing on my hand here because I am right-handed. So I'm just going to draw, and it's like super dark and creamy and awesome. So I'm just going to kind of make it look like this, and then like give it a little jagged, maybe. This is long. This is going to take a while to cover. Sometimes you can fork it too, like go like this. And then in any areas where it comes together, I make it a little bit thicker. So here, we've got a scar type of thing. Now the cool thing about this lip liner, which I bought it as a lip liner, not as a scar thing, because I use everything for everything else, is that this one has a little brush on the back of it. That's this little tiny brush. As you can see, it's a lip liner on this end and a brush on this end. You can use any brush for this, but I like that it's built in because I'm lazy. So what we're going to do is we're going to blend that out. And this really gives it a good base. It makes it, if there's any wrinkliness in your skin that the cream didn't go down into, it kind of fills that all in as a one color and gives you some redness around it, like it looks like it's inflamed. So we're just going to do that over here. We're never going to stop making noise because that would be dead air. Okay. So now that's what that looks like. And so already not bad, cool. But it doesn't have any wow factor. It's just a line on your hand. That's kind of boring. So I'm going to take Rigid Collodion. Now this stuff does not smell great, but once it dries, that smell goes away. It kind of smells like nail polish remover, that kind of like sharp smell. So we're going to try that here. And we're just going to put that on my hand. And you're going to need several coats of this. One coat will give it a little bit, but the more you put on, the deeper you're going to get that scar. Ooh, yeah, it feels really cold, so I'm totally used to that. It's like sense memory coming back to all the fun times I had at Maker Faire New York. Fun story about this, by the way. I was at Maker Faire New York, and this 5-year-old came up to me, and she was like, "Can I have a scar?" And I was like, "Heck yeah, you can have a scar. Scars are super cool." And she was like, "Okay." And so I was doing this, but I was doing it in like hearts, so it wasn't as scary for little kids, or I was doing like latex ripped apart skin grossness. And I was like, "Do you want a scary one or a pretty one?" She looks at me, she goes, "I want a scary one." And I was like, "We're best friends now. That just happened. I like that. It's a thing that just happened." So we just like had the best time, and I did a really scary scar on her, and she showed her brother, and her brother got freaked out, and her brother was like 5 years older than her, and it was great. I had so much fun. Okay, and it looks like we're about dry, so you can almost see it. You can see that there's a sheen to it, and you can kind of see there that it's pushed my skin in a little bit, but it's not very much, so it's just a tiny bit. So we're going to do more layers, and we're going to have story time while we do more layers. Fun fact, last year when I was on Maker Camp, I did a cyborg makeup tutorial. And, you know, high five if you remember that, by the way. The cyborg makeup tutorial was, I had to get up at like 5 a.m. and start doing that like a kitchen show where one person was partially done and the next person like would start getting done, and it was a challenge because everybody showed up late. So I was like rushing to get all of them done. And then I was trying to like practice it beforehand so I can make sure that it had the right effect. Like we do all of the projects beforehand for Maker Camp. And so I was practicing this on Nick Parks. And I was putting some makeup on it. It was like spirit gum, which is just an adhesive. He was going, oh no, it's burning. I'm scared. It's blah. And I was just making fun of him so much for that. It was the best thing ever. Okay, let's see. So thank you for your comment, Abigail. I am going to mark that as done. Cool. Also, thanks, Abigail. I do think we need more Paloma story time. I think we just need more Paloma in general. I'm pretty great. So, and Ellie, I am working on scars right now. I might do a latex one after this if you are interested. And the name of this liquid is Rigid Collodion. I'm going to hold up something to the better camera. So here's this camera, Rigid Collodion. It's got this guy who's got a really unfortunate looking face. Oh look, now it's me. Now that's my face. I'm angry about things. So, yeah. Please do not peel off your skin for us. We could wait. Yeah, no, I'm going to keep my alien skin on for the rest of this and just maintain the human persona. So, you're welcome, everybody, for that. And cool. Man, you were all just talking so much about things. Okay, let's see. Epic singing, thank you. I'm very good at singing and things. So, oh man, I wish I had somebody in here helping me with this because I don't want to just be sitting here reading all of your stuff while this is going on. But also, I could stay here all day. I'll stay here as long as there are people asking questions because, I mean, otherwise I have to do work. We don't really like work. Oh yeah, I forgot you're over here now. So, I am going to check in and see how this rigid collodion. Oh, it looks so cool. Okay. So here's where we are now. You can see it's really actually, like that's legit pulling my skin right now. And it just feels like you've got a Band-Aid on, so like if I ripped my, like if I pulled this down, it's like pulling it. Can you see that? Can you see that there's stuff in there? Like, oh, maybe I'll use the better camera and see how this comes up. Do you see that? Do you see that it's pushing my skin in? Isn't that cool? It's the coolest thing in the world. Oh. And Sophia, it will not rip my skin off. It's basically, I leave this on all day, and by the end of the day, it wants to come off on its own. The edges peel up. It's actually kind of annoying because I want it to be all day perfect, but after a few hours on, if you put it in an area that moves a lot, it's going to start to peel off. So it's you really want to just use this for short-term applications. If you're doing a long-term application, you're going to want a scar wax or a latex, and those will last all day totally easily. Oh, yeah. Oh, hey, you're watching. Ha! Oh, well, I was just saying that I'm clicking on the things it's hard to read it and also select them and say, like, select as read. I want to make sure that I'm not missing any questions from people, but I don't know if that's easy for anyone else to do. Because I'm having fun. They're all interacting. We're having a good time. Everyone, this is Benjamin. Benjamin is great, and he does things. Have you seen this yet? Rigid collodion.
Wow.
Blech. There's only 2 layers, and you can see that it's pushing the skin in.
Right. So what I'm noticing with this is that we're over there.
Yeah. Now we're on the right camera.
Is that not only is it discolored, but it's also the texture and the indentation is starting to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the color is coming from this lip liner that I use.
Oh.
And that's a good trick because most people just put the liquid latex or the rigid collodion on by itself, and they don't add the color, and you can't really see it. You just see kind of a glossy tone. But if you add the dark color, you can really see it push in.
Terrific. Okay.
Oh man, you can totally see it in the back. Oh, that's weird. Hold up. It's like you can see it's pushing my skin in. Oh, I love this. It's awesome. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let's do a latex because I saw somebody say bring on the latex. So I think I can actually handle it. There's not too many people.
Okay.
So you can go back to eating lunch, which I'm assuming you were doing, or something like that.
Well, what I was doing was watching your demonstration here.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Sweet. Haha.
Well, cool. I will let you continue.
Awesome. Thanks, Benjamin.
You're welcome.
There are people watching. Okay, so this is some liquid latex. This is Ben Nye, and Ben Nye is one of my favorites for Halloween makeup or special effects makeup because they just make everything and it's good quality. Also, Mayron and Krylon. Those are like my three like name brand ones. Anything that's not by them, I would research a bit because you don't know what they're putting into it. I know that this is natural adhesive rubber or rubber adhesive, that this is just has latex rubber, water, ammonia, and then may contain some other things in it, but those are just like coloring and things like that. But this does have ammonia. It doesn't smell amazing. So when you are smelling it and working with it, well-ventilated areas are great. I've got a window open, so I'm getting some stuff coming through. But once it dries, just like the rigid collodion, like smells like nothing. Nothing is there. So I'm gonna try on my left hand. This is gonna be interesting. Left-handed. So we're gonna take some, and there goes the rigid collodion. We're gonna take some latex and this stuff. Okay, I wonder if it'll do it. Hold on, which camera are we on? Are we on this camera? You can see. So sometimes if you let it cure in the air, in sunlight, it'll dry in the bottle. So you have to keep this in a cool, dry place because it'll get super gross in there, and you have to like peel out stuff. So that might happen later, but it looks like I've got a good amount of liquid left in this. And so I'm just using foam wedges for this. They're great for applying latex, just like regular stuff. You could also use your hands or whatever, but I find that these are just a little easier to deal with. So I'm going to do a couple layers of this, probably 2 layers, and I want to do the first one that's going to be really well distributed and very kind of light so that it blends, and then the second one's going to be all in the center and it's going to be more thick. And you can do this on your face. You could do this anywhere else. I'm leaving my face for now so that when we decide what kind of look we want to do. So everybody who has an idea for what kind of look we should do, post it in the Q&A section. And then if you like that idea, plus it up. And then once I'm done with the latex, I'll pick the most +1 version. And then after I get started on that, if you have any specific techniques or questions you want me to talk about, I'll cover those as well. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to pour some on here. And I hope you're liking the angles because I spent like 20 minutes trying to get them okay. Okay, so pushing this on here and then so this is a really thin layer, and using the sponge like this, most of it will get sucked up into here. So I just want a tiny, really thin layer. You can barely see it. You can just kind of see that it's a little lighter than my already super light skin. So I'm going to let that dry. And when you're not using your liquid latex, I'm kind of paranoid about it. I close the lid because I don't want it to get sweet lid closing skills. I don't want it to get dried out or cured or accidentally knocked over because that's a lot of money that you're losing. Because this is like, I don't know, $12 to $15. I don't know. Check the internet. I buy things on there a lot. Or if you live near a major city, sometimes they have a Krylon, Mayron, Ben Nye place. Also, if you are professional, you can get your Ben Nye stuff sometimes directly from them. But there's a whole special effects community that does things where you have to order stuff. So it's kind of confusing. I find that just going on Amazon or something like that, you can find a lot of this stuff for relatively easy. So it's almost dry. Look, you can't even see it. It's gone. Boom. Gone. So I'm going to make sure that this one is selected so that you can see this as I'm doing this. I'm seeing myself over there when I'm looking over here. So totally nothing. So now we're going to add a thicker layer, and you want it to kind of look like nothing, so it looks like your actual hand. That's gross underneath there. It's awesome. And I didn't find my blood powder this morning. I know, blood powder. It's the stuff called like mass casualty blood powder, and it's actually really super great. But I couldn't find that, so we're just going to improvise with blood and things like that on this one. So I've got more of the latex, and this is weird doing this with the wrong hand. So I'm just going to focus towards the center where I want it thick, where I'm going to play with it later, and just blend the edges a little bit. So I'm kind of just letting it get soupy in the center, and then I turn my brush a little bit because the dry part of the brush, the sponge, is going to be good for blending because it's going to soak up some of the latex. And then, so you can see how the edges are blended a little bit, and there's a thick part in the center. So the one that I did beforehand goes out to here, and then this layer is about here, and then in here is where it's really thick. So I'm going to let that go. It takes a couple of minutes when you let it be thick like that before it's dry, and then after that it's going to get awesome and gross. So I'm going to go to my canister of brushes and pull out some spatulas, or as layman people call it, spatulas. So here's some of my favorite tools. This is a spatula thingy. I'm going to use my scar to get the stuff on there. And then here's this. It's a little forky thing, and it's got a pick in it. I'll also go to the nicer camera. Hello again. And here's these. So I just found these in like a nail kit for like cleaning underneath your nails, and they're really great for picking at latex. Because this one is awesome because it's not very sharp. It's actually pretty blunt on the end. And it's just like I think it's just plastic with like a metallic coating on it, and that way I can get in there without really risking cutting my skin, because I can do this on my skin and it'll scratch it a little bit, but it's not going to hurt anything. And then with this one's pretty sharp, but it's great if you really need to get in there and break the latex, and be gentle with this. When you're doing it on somebody else, like on myself, I can tell when I've gone too far and when it's starting to hurt, but on somebody else, I always say, it's okay, tell me if I'm hurting you. Tell me if I'm scratching your skin. And they'll let you know pretty quickly. So this is getting there. It's at the point where it's like right in the middle where you want to start with it, but if you start with it, you're going to ruin it. So like, oh look, you're following along. Okay, so let's check in with how things are going. Let me just scroll down and see what's going on. Okay. Let's see. Alien face mask. And then Ellie said, "What's up, Benjamin?" I'll tell him that you said that. I have to add the color to the latex. Actually, you can get clear latex, and you can get this kind of pale color. Luckily, this matches my skin tone pretty well, but if you put it clear, like I've had people with really dark skin tones, and if I put a very thin layer, it's not a problem. So one like this will cover most people. I just go really thick on people who are like vampire pale like me, and then I go really thin if you've got some good color on you. So just kind of work your way through that. And then, but you can, that's why I use these Ben Nye palettes as well, because they have, it's a greasy concealer so that it will go on top of the latex, so I can blend it to their skin tone. And I've bought some skin tone as well. Also, I have a bunch of glitter over here too, so if we want to do something weird and awesome with glitter and sequins and like jewels and things, I've got that. Let's check. Aged scars and fresh scars. Okay, so the rigid collodion is really good for fresh scars because it's got this look to it. But if you want to do a scar that's older, I would say do the rigid collodion without the color underneath it. I would say that that's a great way. I can do one next to it so you can. I don't know how well it'll transfer on camera, but I'll give it a shot. I would say that that would be a better look at something set in. If you want a scar on top of the skin, I'm just going to do a straight line for demonstrations purposes and put a lot on there so you can really see it set in. If you want to do, just losing my train of thought, but if you want to do scars on top of the skin, I would recommend using scar wax, which I might not have with me, but it's a waxy substance that you kind of scrape up and then place on using spirit gum, and that'll just kind of lay on there, and you can do stuff like that. I also really love the use of puff paint. If you can get one that's a really, really light color that will be easily covered by makeup, you can do puff paint on there, and it'll be on top of the skin. So maybe a combination of puff paint and rigid collodion. That could be really cool. Awesome. Okay, let's see. Sophia, I have done an anime. I only have clear mascara. Dude, I have so much mascara, I didn't even bring all of it. It's a problem. But I can do anime. I have done an anime look for Halloween one year. And what I did for that, so what you do, I might draw this out on a face chart, but I closed my eyes, and then I did, my eyes went up to here. And so I had this whole section being my eye, and then I drew my eyebrows up here. And then I made my lips very small, and I just made like little tiny patches of pink blush, and everything else was pale. It was really funny, and the funny thing is when I put my glasses on and closed my eyes a little bit, it looked like eyes because you weren't really seeing that much. It was really funny, but that took a long time. Let's see. Memories from when a costume. Leopard style makeup. I've done that too. That's so fun. You could do really cool like spots and like leopards and jaguars, panthers. You can get really cool stuff. There's a really great tutorial out there by Peacherlude, and Peacherlude is how I learned almost everything that I do. But Peacherlude on YouTube has amazing Halloween tutorials that are really easy to follow, and he has a leopard face that he did that was awesome. So if you're interested in that, check that one out, because I would just be blatantly copying that look if I showed it to you. Where can I get good costume makeup year-round? Old lip gloss and clear nail polish. Nice, nice. Let's see. Year-round, I'm really lucky that I have a Halloween store in Santa Rosa called Disguise the Limit. It's puns, guys. Puns. Love it. So Disguise the Limit has stuff all year round that's really great, and they've got makeup all the time. But when Spirit comes up, you know, whenever your Halloween store of your choice comes up, go in there and buy as much as you can, like right after Halloween is a great time to go in because everything's discounted. But I just get stuff online. Honestly, Amazon has been good to me. I've gotten a bunch of stuff on there. If you search for Ben Nye or Mayron or Krylon, those are my 3 go-to brands. I can't really endorse anything past that because I just haven't seen a lot of people using stuff outside of those 3. But if you hear of anything else that's really awesome, let me know. Let's see. Pirate Mermaid Fairy Face. Oh, so you're going to make it easy for me. Thanks, Sophia. So this looks about dry, by the way. Let me move you over to my other cam. Boom. Okay, so it still looks really white, but that's just because I put a lot on there. So you're seeing there's a little bit of the dried stuff that got in there. And so it's pretty much dry. It's like moving around a little bit underneath the surface. So I'm going to give it a little bit longer, but you can see that you can see the shimmer there. Okay, and then here's the scar. You can see the other scar here. It looks yellow on camera, but it's not yellow in person. But so you can see it there, and you can see that it's pulled. And so you get that, like, it's not red and hurting anymore. So you can get that, like, the scar's been there for a while. This is also great for burns. Let me pull over here and see how well this shows up over here. You can see those two together, and you can see really, like, right there, you can kind of start to see the pulled areas. And then this one on my hand, you can really see how kind of gross it is. Blah! And when you move it, like, you can totally feel it underneath there. Awesome. Cool. Great. So I think I'm just going to get started with this latex and just work my way through it. So let's see. What's the best way? I think just going like this is going to be the best way to do this. So hopefully the angle works for you. Let's go here. And I'm taking this pick one just because it's a little bit sharper and I don't have as much control with my left hand, so I'm going to put less pressure, and so I want something that's going to get through the latex. But the other one is my go-to when I'm using other people, again, because it's very dull. So we're just going to kind of squish through here and just pull stuff around, and it starts to look really weird and gross and awesome. So as you can see, I've got a hole in here, and I'm just kind of pulling this around. So hard to do. All right, I have a mirror right here. Cool. So I'm just going to start pulling, and latex loves to stick to itself. So if you pull it up and touch it to itself, it's going to stay there until you put some sort of powder on it. it'll remain kind of tacky. And that's true for anything that's really kind of sticky. Is if you put powder on it, it's going to absorb the stickiness. But if you just, like, if you let it be, it'll stick to itself. And weird. Okay, so this looks gross and awesome, and you're getting this really textural feel. And then you have clear spots in the center. And those spots in the center, I'm going to fill with a color so that it looks like my skin. But everything else, I'm just going to leave be. And then this part, you might not be able to see it until I bring my hand closer to the camera, but I'm just raking along here, and I'm going to get a bunch of little bubbles. As you can see, there's a bunch of little ones forming in there. So as I just scrape along there, it's going to create a lot of little ones, and that gives you more of like a diseased, like, these ones are like puncture wounds, but this one's more like a diseased look. And then sometimes you can grab it and twist. Oh, that looks so weird. Yeah. When I get weirded out by my makeup, I know I'm doing it right. See, there's areas where I twisted, where it's thicker. See if I can make that a little bit more apparent. See? Twist. And then you get like knotted stuff. So we're really just building texture here. And this is my favorite thing, is when I'm doing makeup on other people, I just hand this over and say, have fun, make your scar. And they're like, at first they're like, ew, ew, ew. And they're like, oh, I could do this, and then I could do that. And you get some really cool stuff. Like, it's always awesome. I just always show them the basic techniques and then let them go from there. So I want to see if any of you can do this. Also, if you don't have latex at home, you can go to like a Mac store, your grocery store, your drugstore, whatever, and find Duo latex or Duo eyelash adhesive. It's for putting on fake eyelashes, and that stuff works the same way. It smells super gross, so you know that it's like the same latex stuff. But it's really, really easy to use, and it's not the cheapest, but if you just need a little bit right now for playing around with, Duo eyelash adhesive. Great way to go. Okay, so now I'm going to put on the better camera, and then here we go. You can see it's gross and awesome. Wow. Okay, so now we're going to have some fun. I am going to play around with this. So I've got some really pretty things. Like, this is like some loose blue, and it's both blue and brown. Weird. And I have a bunch of like fun, pretty powders, and I've got some like shimmery, glittery ones, but we're not going for shimmer glitter here. So I'm going to go into my 88 palette. Oh, it's great. I love it. So, the 88 palette. Now I'm just going to grab a random brush from in here. These are my brushes. It's just a simple paddle brush. That's what these are called. They're flat and round. These are my favorite for just putting a bunch of color down. And then I might grab a primer. Do I have a primer near me? Honestly, you don't really need a primer. I think mine's buried at the bottom of something, so you don't really need to. If you're gonna wear this all day and you're putting powder over a large area, putting down a makeup primer first can help. But I'm taking this off right after this. We're just not gonna do that. So let's see. We want to go with reds and browns because we want to make it look a little bit like muscle, and we want it to look a little bit. I want to add some brown so that there's definition. It's kind of rotting, gross. So, you know, we gotta think this through, guys. We gotta make it work. So, oh man, left-handed. Forgive me for how weird this might look. Oh, I'm so inept with my left hand, but we'll make it work. Okay. And I'm just like, so I put some on here. Let me switch you to the other camera. Okay. And then here, you can see that we've got, I'm just putting some on there, and you can already tell that it looks more 3D. So grabbing browns, grabbing reds, and I like to mix on the brush itself. You get really interesting color combinations. If you layer it, you're just not going to get the same like combination of awesome color. So putting this on here, and I'm just like I'm just doing like weird, messy blobs, right? Because we just want to get some color on there. And then I'm going to take like a big, fluffy brush or something that will help me blend it. So this one's big and fluffy. Yeah, let's try that. Honestly, makeup is not as hard as you think. You just play around until it looks right. And with gore makeup, like, you don't really care if it looks wrong because it's supposed to. It's supposed to look bad and gross and awful and ugly. So, you know what we could do? We can add some lip liner. Why not? Let's try that out. Figure it out, campers. So, let's add some of this greasy stuff up in this knot here, because anything greasy will stick to makeup really well, or stick to latex really well. And we're going to add some of this. So now I've just put some really messy dottiness in there, and then I'm going to go back to that brush. Back. I should get points for this being with my left hand. Not prepared points, but skill points. I'm going to level up by the end of this, thank you. So now I'm just blending this out, and I'm going to get it to go. So, because blending is honestly the way to make things look really natural. If things are not blended, you can tell immediately that it's like, I just stuck this on there, congratulations. So blending is a big skill that you can really learn from. So I'm blending stuff. Cool. That's a thing. We're figuring it out. Okay, so now I'm gonna cover that because it's kind of just like a weird dark blob right now. And we want to add, let's add a little bit of yellow and green because that's kind of the like grossy festering colors. I think we want it to be like a weird kind of gross looking thing. I'm gonna add some yellows and pick up some greens and put this in my other hand and kind of plop it in there. Now, the more colors that you add to this, you're gonna get, you know, like if you put powder on top of powder, you're not gonna get the same color saturation that you had in the beginning. You're going to get just kind of a dusty look, but that's okay because we're zombies. Zombies don't need to look fresh and moist and dewy. They can look dusty and gross and old. So I'm going to add more of a vibrant red in here, get some of that going. And also, like, blending is important, but you can also have rough edges occasionally if you really want to make it look like fresh. Just don't have it like a line. Like, see, this is a line right here at the top. I don't like that. I'm gonna blend it for days, blending. And don't be afraid to blend it really big too. Like, cover the whole area. Get it all up in there. And because I did that thin layer of latex that was really big, I can get the same texture all the way throughout there. I'm gonna freak out so many people in the office later. They don't even know. Unsuspecting victims we got here. So now, what do I want to do? Hopefully y'all are learning this. Are you using Elmer's glue? You know, that can work. I've never used Elmer's glue. I kind of, when I like pick up a hobby, I like go for the exact product that I need, because that way I have no excuse to not do it. You know, like if I get, I'm like, oh, but it's Elmer's glue, so I guess I just won't do it. Then I need the stuff to get motivated. And you know, I've got these lip tars, which are for beauty, but you know, why not? These are like a mix between a lipstick and a lip gloss. And we can add some of these in there to make it look gross and goopy. And we can mix them ourselves. Let's try that out. Let me just... Abigail, I like you, but I'm getting rid of some of your questions so that I can see other things. And man, Sophia's pirate mermaid fairy face is still at the top, so, you know... It tied with anime, so y'all need to vote. There are 20 people at this moment looking at my face right now, so go vote. Thank you, Benjamin, and everyone watching. This is so cool. Oh, I'm so happy that y'all are having fun and learning. We're learning! Yay! Okay, awesome, back to the top. Okay, so now that we've done that, I'm going to take some reds and yellows and greens, and then this red, because that one's too pink. I don't want pink. Pink is not the right vibe we're going for here. And so I've got all of these, and You could do like rainbow lips with this. I did that the day I got these. They're so cool. So they're meant for your lips, but I'm just going to take, hey look, I have a plastic thing. Let's mix on the plastic thing. That sounds like a great idea. So I'm going to put this down here, swoosh, and then I'm going to see if you can see that. Cool, let's figure this out. So we want to have, this is what we got. This is what we're looking at here. Kind of a gross, let me move this to this camera so you can see. It's kind of gross and looks bad. I don't look like I'm having fun with this. So let's continue that and have no fun over here. So we're gonna add some red and like literally almost none. This stuff is super pigmented. So we're gonna add the red and the brown because I want it to mostly be this like reddish brown color inside there. Those are going to be our main colors, and then I want to add a little bit of a yellow and a little bit of a green. Let's see how that looks. Yeah. Okay. Yellow. Oh, that was a lot of yellow. Yeah, we'll figure it out. I know this is really tiny and you probably can't see it, but we'll figure it out. Okay. Green. Cool. Let's see what that looks like. Probably weird and gross. Cool. Great. So we're mixing it up. I'm getting some. Yeah, that's not bad actually. Okay, so we've got this kind of reddish color. See? So now let's goop that in here. So we just kind of bleh, gross, bleh, gross, disgusting, bleh, and then get that all up in there, and then kind of maybe just dab some around. That looks cool. I can see that. That could be a thing. Yeah, that's a thing. Okay. Now let's look over here. What do you think? I think that looks pretty good. I think that was a success. Sweet. Latex. Done. I don't think I can really talk much about latex other than that. I mean, you've got powders, creams, liquids, and then using things in a way that weren't meant to be, like lip tars being used as a fake blood because I left my blood powder at home. Yes, I have blood powder. Yay, greetings from Italy! Hello, Italy! I am half Italian, but I've never been, so, sad. Okay, so we're gonna clean that up a little bit. We clean as we go here at Maker Camp. Cool, okay. Yay, wipes. They're great. So, now, let's see, what do we want to do? We're still at Pirate Mermaid Fairy Face, and we're at, I mean, we got a lot of y'all that like the Pirate Mermaid Fairy Face. All right, I guess we're going Pirate Mermaid Fairy Face. Let's figure that out. Okay, so I'm going to push you down here so you can see the face chart that I'm looking at. Move this back. And here we go. Okay, so what does a pirate mermaid fairy face look like? Well, I think we're going to be ethereal. So let's get... Oh, I have such a mess, guys. Such a mess. So many things and stuff. Okay, I got a pen. So we're going to draw on here. So we want to have a fairy face. Now, fairies, I would imagine something ethereal and something, so we'll have like a light green. I'm just gonna, like, we're gonna have like some kind of shading going on here. So I want this to be darker. And probably some jewels in here, maybe. And then maybe because it's a fairy, we can have wings. We could try doing some wings over here. If you don't like any ideas or you want any extra ideas, let me know. Like, this is our thing, man. Okay, and so it's a pirate. So we could do a skull and crossbones. We could do scars, like a scar across the eye. Those are kind of hard though, and because it's the eye, there's issues. So let's do a scar underneath the eye. So we've got like a scar that's coming down. We got some some scarness going on over here. That's a scar. That's, I mean, it's a lightning bolt, but I'll make it less lightning bolt-y. It's just gonna, you know, remember that it looks like a lightning bolt. And let's see. Okay, so pirate, mermaid. Okay, so mermaids have scales. So let's give her some scales. So there's this really cool thing you can do. Oh, but I don't have any fishnet. So one thing you can do to do really quick scales, let me just turn you back over here while we're talking. So to do scales really fast, get some fishnet tights and hold them over your face so that they kind of indent a little bit. You can have a friend help. And then take a color of powder and just powder it over that. And then when you take it off, you'll have the empty space of those fishnets. And then you can go in and darken that and give yourself individual scales. So that's cool. But so now, let's go back to the here, and we're going to give ourselves some scales here. Now, I have no idea how this is going to turn out, but I'll just draw some scale lines here and some scale lines here. And so those are kind of, here, I'll hold this up so that you can see a little bit better. This is what we're working with. Can you see it? Can you see it? Cool. So that's where we are right now. So we've got like a battle damage fairy mermaid. And then we'll get some wings over here as well. I mean, this is going to be weird, but I kind of like it. And we're going to give her some actual eyebrows, because all of those things that you mentioned have brows. Now we could do those in a random color. So let me know if you think we should do like blue eyebrows, or I'm doing this on my own face. It's going to be weird because I have red hair. But red eyebrows look like weird clown makeup. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. It could be cool. So pirate, mermaid, fairy. I think we've got all the basics down. So now let's see. If we want to do something cool with the lips, because we're going for a fairy, we're going for a mermaid. Let's do, what if we did like purple lips or blue lips with like a pattern on them? We could try that. I've never done that before. Why not? We could do something like lines coming off, maybe, and then like we could try a pattern. I don't know. That might be weird if we just did scales or something on the lips. Or we could just do like a blue to purple effect on the lips. Pirate, mermaid, fairy is so beautiful. Guys, let's hashtag pirate, mermaid, fairy. Make that a thing. Start a revolution. We'll go viral. Okay. Great. And now let's see if I have anything else in here that'll inspire me. Ooh, well, I just immediately pulled this up. That's heavy metal glitter. So we're gonna have glitter in this. It's gonna be glittery. I've got a bunch of glitter over here. For any of you who maybe don't like this so far, you did not vote for something else, so you're gonna deal with glitter galore. So we've got this whole thing in here. I'm just gonna go here for inspiration. We've got some stuff in here. This is loud. I'm just gonna pull out anything that's cool and interesting. There's so much stuff, guys. Ah, blue. That's a cool blue color. Let's take that out. Black, and then another blue. This is going to be great. I'm excited for this, actually. It's going to be weird and different, but I like things that are weird and different. Okay, now we got some blue in here. Oh, that needs to be sharpened. And then we've got some white. Okay, white eyeliner is like the best thing ever because you can cover it with so many other things and you'll get a really, really bright color. So if you need bright for anything, that's what I would do. And somebody said, what about an eye patch? And I thought about that, but I don't know how to do an eye patch if I haven't already created one. Like, I don't have one on hand. I didn't know we would be doing pirates. Man. Maybe if I've got time, I can rip one out of paper and make that work. So we'll see. If you have any suggestions for ideas of how we could do an eye patch, let me know. Ooh, I was looking for that. Cool. This is a good thing, because now I can go through some of my makeup. Okay. And then here's all my glitter. Let's just bring that into here. Yeah, it is organized by color. You're welcome. That's not glitter though, that should go over here. But yeah, we've got green glitter, silver glitter, blue, orange, brown glitter. I've got some black glitter. Bet you didn't know there was black glitter. Boom. You're welcome. And then I've got a bunch of sequins. So I'll probably use some of these blue ones in the center. They've got like light blue and dark blue. And then I'll attach those with the liquid latex because that's what I used to use the eyelash glue adhesive, and then I realized it's just latex. So I'll probably use that. And this is only because I've tested it a lot around my own in the eye area, and I'm very used to that. So anytime that you're working on your own, really be careful with what you're using. Don't just immediately start out with everything. Bring things in slowly so that you make sure your skin doesn't have a bad reaction. Also got bright red glitter. We got some cool options in here. Oh, maybe I can use the sequins as scales. We got this. We got this. Okay. So, what do I recommend for oily skin? I had issues once which required some skin glue. Skin glue kept falling off. Okay, so oily skin, I have very dry skin. So, just looking at this. I have very dry skin, so what works for me may be different for you. What I recommend as an adhesive for anything is spirit gum. I haven't found anybody who this doesn't work on. And my trick for spirit gum is put the spirit gum on, and then at first it's very slippery. It's not very sticky. But if you take something like a pencil and you roll it over where you've done the spirit gum, it'll actually get tackier and tackier, and it'll be easier to roll it on. So there you go. And I'm going to go through and get rid of some of these that I've read, so that way I can make sure that I see what everybody is saying. If all of you have something that you want me to talk about that I haven't answered yet, +1 it up higher. Oh, now it's up to 6 with the pirate mermaid fairy face. Thanks, guys, for making it easy. Answered that. And Sophia, you also suggested rainbow lips. Should we do rainbow lips on the mermaid? I don't know. What do you think? Let's see. Muscle skinless face. Okay, really cool way to do that. Puff paint. I'm gonna start some puff paint going and see if we can maybe use that later. Here, I'll switch over to this one. This is my suggestion for making muscles. You take your puff paint, and this is an old one, so it might not work very well, but you just squeeze and make lines, and you put them right next to each other, and then they'll together look like a muscle. I talked about this in one of my YouTube videos that I did for Make called DIY Monster Skin or something. If you look in the Make Believe playlist, you'll see that. So, and then you can also do like, you know, there's sun coming in like this, and you can just go back and forth, and putting like little gaps in there can look really cool. And then you can kind of blend the edges because you don't want it to be too perfect on the edges. And so there, I'll just let those dry, and if they're not done by the time we're done, then just watch that video. But here's what they look like in there. You can see with muscles. And so what I usually do on top of those is I add a Vaseline with a brown color in there, and it looks super cool. So let's make these into sequins, and we'll just like layer the sequins in here. So we'll do that, and we'll do like blue, green, purple, and they'll mostly be blue and purple. I think that's a good idea. And yeah, I think let's just maybe get started. Let's just see what happens. Okay, so I'm gonna put you back up here so you can see what I'm doing as I'm working on my face. I have a mirror right here, so hopefully as I'm doing my makeup, you will be able to see what I'm doing, and everything will be great, and everyone will be happy. So let's get started. Also, I won't have my glasses on, so that'll be a thing. Oh man, there's so many of you talking. Yay, cool, awesome, fantastic. Okay, so let's start with the eyes, because those are the easiest thing to do, I think. So I'm going to get some brushes, some liner brushes. I'm going to get out my, because I'm not using anything too destructive, I'm going to use my nice brushes for this. So you guys ready for this? Ta-da-da-da-da. Ooh, nice brushes. So I'm going to put those somewhere over here. Ha! Okay, so now I'm going to go down to I want the 88 palette. It's called the 88 palette because it has 88 colors. Okay. So now I think I'm just going to start with the pretty ethereal colors that are just a base. So I'm going to add on some white liner, and this is going to allow the other colors to stick well and not have a lot of issues. So we're going to bring the mirror here, and this is NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk, number 604. I like this one. This is going to be a challenge. I'm going to mostly focus on this eye because that's what you can see better. I can't see because I'm wearing the glasses. Yeah. Also, you notice that the best blending tool that you have is your hands. Brushes work really well too, but your hands actually warm up the makeup and allow it to kind of melt into your skin a little bit better. I'm also using this instead of a primer because it's greasy, so the powder will stick really well to it. And I don't have very greasy skin, so I don't have to worry about that stuff kind of falling off. So, put the lid on that, and then I'm just going to kind of put that on there. Oops. And then kind of blend it, make sure that it's nicely covering everything, and just go into the crease a little bit. This is something that I do pretty standard, and I'm working it up into here, and I'll cover most of this stuff with other things, but this way it'll look really ethereal and fancy and nice. Woo! That looks like a thing. Great. Next step. I'm going to look at what I got over here. So I've got like a greenish gold, and I've got another green. I've got a lot of green gold. There's a blue. I like that one. I like the blue brown. I'm not thinking like a warm goldish green. I think we want to go with watery tones. So I've got this like a pink color. Like, oh, no glasses. Just squint really hard. Everything will be fine. And then I've got some more blues. And then I've got this. So I'm going to stick in this center tone where we've got the cool tones. Blues and purples are cool tones. Kind of like the reds and the oranges are warm tones. It makes sense if you really think about it. And so, yeah, I'm going to start with like a seafoamy light blue color. And I think I'm going to work that in here. And then I'll just, generally I start light and I go dark. I do really dark in the crease, and then I do light up here. And that gives you a basic shape that looks really awesome for your face. So let's try that. Go here and just cover. Ooh, it already looks so blue. Okay. I don't know how well it's picking up on camera, but I will show you with the better camera in a minute. So just more blue. And then going in there, and then working about like halfway through. And then I'm going to take like a mid-tone blue. I really want to work in these ones because they're just really cool. They're shimmery and they've got like 2 tones in each one. So I'm going to try this one. And as you can see, it's like a powder. And I just shake some of that into the lid. And these are kind of a pain to deal with, but they work really well if you add water or something creamy to mix them with. But I've got a creamy base on. So hopefully these will work well. So we've got a, oh, that's very dark. Cool. Let's work that into the crease. Honestly, this is me like every morning. I'm like, ugh, I don't like that. Let's go with it. Make it better. As with most making. At first you're like, what am I doing? I have no idea how to do any of it. Oh, hey, wait, I figured it out. Right, campers? Right. Cool. That looks like a thing. It's getting there. We'll even it out a little bit, make this side a little higher up, and like blend that out. Like I said, blending is like everything. It's weird looking at myself without an eyebrow piercing. Okay, so now we are going to add a light color. So I'm going to take the excess and put this back in here. Tap, 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 tap. Cool. And I want a really bright color. And I've got this pinky, this like white pink color that I think might be ridiculously fun with it. So let's try that. Oh, there's a lot of it. Cool. I'm kind of just using the same brush for this because I could use a different brush for everything, but I tend not to. If I want a brush that has the same texture for all of this, I just will use the same brush. Okay, so as you can see, that kind of gives it a gradient effect, sort of. I'll switch back to the other camera in a second, and then I'll check to see what all of you are saying, because I can't see what you're saying right now. So there's that. Cool. And then I think I want something super glittery on the inner corner of my eye, just to have fun with. So, what are you saying? Over here. Left-handed day, right? Ooh, what brand of colored contacts would you recommend? I don't use contacts very often. If I am using contacts, they would be prescription, because but if you are using a colored contact, I would contact your optometrist or somebody who is a medical professional, because you don't want to put something in your eye that's not very medically sound. I've heard horror stories of getting contacts that are not great and then getting infections or having your eyes have issues. So really, really check on that. And I'm going to put you over here so you can see this. So as you can see, it's kind of like, it's getting there. It's kind of ethereal. We're playing with it. Okay. And as I'm looking down, can you make a fairy? Well, I can't make a fairy. I just don't have that high of a wisdom mod, so I can't do that kind of, I don't have a wisdom mod or a charisma mod, so I can't do that kind of casting yet. But also, you know, I'm not a sorcerer, so I can't be Fey-blooded. D&D Pathfinder references. Let's go down to the bottom. Thanks, guys. You're all so nice. Because you said perfection. Gunhole and forehead. Probably won't go very well with the pirate theme, but we'll see. Pirate equals scars. Okay, so I'll add some more scars. This will be a battle damaged pirate, mermaid, fairy. Okay, so everybody's loving everything about me, so I'm on board with that, and I agree. We're pretty great. Okay, and I think that's pretty much everything. Okay, cool. And again, if I haven't answered something, bring it up to the top. Work together, because it's hard for me to go through and read everything. Okay, so now let's move on to let's do more sparkly things. Sparkly things are fun, right? Sparkles. Let's try out this stuff. I don't know if I've ever even used it. So it's like a sparkly, glittery thing. Ooh, that won't show up very well on camera. Let's try. So, and I'll take pictures of this afterwards if we like it and post it on the community page. No, you can't see me over here. Click. Cool. Over there now. I'm going to bring the mirror really close to me because I have terrible eyes. I can't see things. This is like it's a glittery thing. And let's try. Glitter, glitter, glitter. Do, 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 do. Oh, hey, that's not, that, it kind of works. You can kind of see it. So, let's just use a lot of it. Because I've never used it before, so how often am I going to use it again? I'm kind of using this as liner, but I think I might start there and then continue this onto the wings. Great idea. Okay, so now I'm going to start on the other side, doing things with weird hand movements. And wow, yeah, we've been on for like an hour, guys. Thanks for sticking with me. There's still a good amount of you. I guess we're having fun. Awesome. I mean, I'm having fun, but I just figured y'all might have things to do. But I guess not. I get covered in makeup when I do makeup. Not very graceful. But it's fun. Okay, can you see that at all? It's very glittery in person. Yeah, you can kind of see the glitter. Glitter, 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 glitter. Cool. And I'm going to add a little bit in here. Now be careful when you're adding glitter to the inner corner of your eye, because if it gets in your eye, it's going to be a pain. This is suspended in a gel, so I know it's not going to move too much. But loose glitter, be careful. It could bother you. So I'm just going to add this in here, and around in there. That's going to be fun because I'm going to put some jewels in here. Again, putting jewels near the inner corner of your eye, like, always looks cool. It's like a law of nature. Also, for Makeup Camp Halloween, I made up everything, like, right before we went on. It was like, oh, what are we doing today? I don't know, make it up. So some of those turned out pretty good. Sweet. Okay, I'm gonna leave that be, and I'm gonna come back when we do the wings. So let's kind of figure out what we're gonna do for that. I've got some pencils, like blue, we've got green. Let me know if you have a color preference. I've got blue, green, purple, black, white, red, brown, all of the colors in here. So any colors that y'all think, start typing them in there. And I can do combinations, I can do glitter. I've got tons of colors of glitter. So the wings are gonna be glittery like crazy. So let's do that. I'm gonna move this and then move that and bring the glitter over because I wanna see what we got in here. So for glitter, I've got red, silver, orange, more silver. That's not glitter. Blue, more blue, orange, more silver, green, brown, black, white, and another green. So we've got like the types of green we have are like a lighter, a light green, and I've got like a really like green, like a forest green. So let's check what you say. Now I can see. Okay, so over here, hi again. We are looking down at things. Okay, for the eye patch, just fill in one side of your glasses with black eyeliner. A decision you definitely won't regret later. Thanks, Abigail. I think I'm gonna not, but I can maybe fabricate an eyeliner later, or an eye patch later. So, but thank you for the great suggestion, Abigail. You always have my best interest at heart. Okay, so just checking through here. Man, there's so many comments. Y'all are talking a ton. Black pant. Are we talking about panting? Okay, down to the bottom. It's okay, fairies are glittery. Yes, fairies are very glittery, thank you. You don't have to do scales all over the faces. I was thinking about scales just up here. Like just a few like layered sequin scales. We could play with it. And zombie clown. Thanks. We're not doing a zombie clown because I've already picked one. I'm running with it. Lots of cracks in the skin. If you want to replicate cracks in the skin, I would say do a layer of latex, and then before it dries, draw a lot of cracks, and that'll give you the texture. Or you could use scar wax and put a thin layer and then draw those in because the wax will stay pretty moldable, and then you can add a lot of powder to that one. Scar wax takes powder really well. Or you can just do lines where the cracks would be. A great tip for doing like Joker makeup or anything where you want to see lines is you scrunch and you make yourself have a lot of lines like that or like this. I don't have many yet. And so you just powder over there, and anywhere where you were scrunched up is now clear. And so you can use that to define things, and it works really well. Down to the bottom. Don't you have to add? Okay, I already talked about that. Cool. We're on it. We're doing great. Masked Man from Naruto, even though it's Naruto, I call it Naruto. the reasons. Yeah, okay, so it looks like none of y'all have too many suggestions for the color of the wings. So I'm just gonna go for it. Okay, let's do blues and greens, and then we'll accent with this blue and brown. It's called a duochrome because it is 2 colors, duochrome. You're welcome, words. So now I want a liner brush. So to do that, I'm going to go to my brushes, and I want something that's going to give me a strong line. Over here, this one. That does a thing. We'll use that one. Cool. And so I've got liner brushes. I've got these ones. I need another paddle brush. We're learning so many things today, everyone. Okay, and then I'm going to pick one more paddle brush, but I'll pick it from here because this one might get a little messy, and I don't want to stain the other nice brushes. So paddle brush, liner brush, paddle brush, and then smudgy brush. Technical terms, by the way. Smudgy brush. So here's the ones that I picked. Cool. So I have way too many brushes, and I've got some colors. So I've got these 2 blues. Wow, they look the same on camera. This one's lighter, this one's darker. You can kind of see that. And then I don't need the pink anymore. Well, I've got this blue too, which is a loose powder. Loose powders are great for getting a lot of color on there. They're not great for travel though. Sometimes they open and then they're everywhere. At least with a pressed powder, you have a chance of it not breaking. And then Pirate Mermaid Fairy is also missing some teeth. Nope. Nope. Also, French mustache? Come on. Come on, guys. All right, if you're still around and we finished everything else, then we can start defacing the face. But I do have makeup wipes, so these will not be on forever. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do now is I might draw the wings with the white eyeliner, and then I'll use the light and dark pressed powders to press over that white. I'll add this blue to kind of blend them and give them some more definition, and then I will outline everything in this brown. Game plan achieved. So glasses are off again. We are now incommunicado because I cannot see you. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to start on the side that you can see, and then I'm going to try to match it on the other side, which may or may not happen. Okay, so I'm going to do like a long, thin one and then a round one at the bottom. So let's just start with the long, thin one. I'm going to just pull. Sometimes pulling a little bit just makes it so that your brow doesn't freak out. Man, it is not enjoying working over the powder. Oh, that's because this one's shimmery. Wow, the name of this pencil is Cottage Cheese. No thank you. I want to go back to milk. What's with the food, Nix? Okay, so we're gonna, that's a little better. Okay, so we're gonna give it a base. And then a thing down here. And we're gonna kind of, I don't know how well that's translating to camera, but we're gonna cover it anyways. This is just a base, a greasy base. And then we're gonna go here and make that thicker. Okay, so it looks a little juvenile right now, but it'll, I mean, so it matches me. And then we're gonna goes right here. Can I help you, Candace?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay, and then round one down. I see things happening over here. I cannot check them, but I see things. Oh, does that look even? That sort of looks even. This is why I like doing makeup on other people. I can't see. Okay, this one's bigger. Dang it. Okay. You know what? For sake of time, I'm going to let go of my obsessive compulsive tendencies. And what are you saying? Okay. I mean, stitches. You are all working together against me, you campers. I think green eyebrows sound cool. That could be interesting. Let's save those for a little bit from now. Ooh, look at that. So I'm just looking at my side of my face. Oh man, you can really see the eyebrow piercing. I'll put that in later and it'll look weird. Okay, so now we're gonna fill this in with blues. So I'm thinking we're gonna use these two. And then I'll also show you this one. See, this is what it looks like. It's powdery. This one's got a shimmer to it, so that'll be a nice effect. And then I use this one, which looks interesting. So let's start. Does this have a glitter in it? Because that would be easier. Aha, it does. Cool, I'll try that. So that way I can see things a little bit better. So light and dark. So we'll start with the light. Man, I'm making a mess. Paloma's afternoon, cleaning up from having way too much fun. Okay, blue, light blue. I'm gonna go on the top. Yeah, the greenish one is gonna go on the top, and the more true blue is gonna go on the bottom. Okay, and so because this is a really greasy pen, it is totally picking up the color really well. Awesome. I'm putting color on. I'm getting this to be a thing. Okay, cool. And now I'm going to work on this side so you can see that we already got one wing on there. Because our fairy apparently flies with its eyes, because windows are the eyes to the soul. Let's come up with a backstory. I'm expecting a 20-page paper by all of you on the backstory between our fairy pirate mermaid, because you made this thing, so it came from somewhere. So I think this was Sophia's idea. So Sophia, I at least want to hear a backstory from you. Start brainstorming, campers. I'm going to take the bottom here. I'm going to add that down there. Ooh, that's a pretty dark blue. Why don't I use that more often? Alright, because wearing blue in public is weird. Wearing blue on your eyes. For some reason, people think that's socially unacceptable. Well, they're weird. Okay, how's that look? It's getting there. It looks weird so far. Makeup looks weird until it's done, and then you're like, I can live with that. Yep, I can live with that. Okay. This blue. Cool. Man, I wish that I were doing this. I wish that I could be like an out-of-body experience and be doing this on myself. But you have the cards that you are handed. Now I'm going to add this sparkly sparkle blue and see how that looks. Ooh, sparkly, pretty. I'm going to blend that up too. Add a lot of sparkle in here. And I think I drew that I was going to add 3 jewels, but I think I'm just going to do 1 jewel on my eye, just because of the size of them. It would be a little weird if I did 3. I could probably add more glitter liner. I'm going to be completely honest. It looks cool. And I might add glitter liner to this too, but we'll see. Okay, so there's that. And now I'm going to try to outline these. This is going to be the part where I'll have a shaky hand and everything will be terrible. But if that happens, we'll live with it. We could do this. We could do this, campers. Yeah. Okay, so adding some of this. And I'm moving this far away because I have knocked those over before, and they are not fun to clean up. When I was doing the lizard skin makeup, I knocked it over, and it made a big mess, and I was very sad. Okay, so I'm gonna start on my right eye because I'm better at that hand, and then I'll cross over and do this one and see what I like. Okay. Turn the corner. This is hard to do. This is why makeup artists are a thing, because they have subjects. Okay, I think I can live with that. Now I'm going to do a line down the center. It's got a cool sheen to it. This is kind of subtlety that you won't really pick up. It just looks like I'm outlining it. It looks really sad and weird right now. I'm going to add more glitter to it and blend it. Because again, blending makes everything look less sad and weird. You can put it on a t-shirt. Blending makes everything look less sad and weird. Paloma. Maker camp. So I'm going to take a clean brush and blend that in. Kind of made it like, oh, let's just do a simple zombie. Or, oh, I remember you did this look already, so you don't have to think about it. Y'all had to challenge me, didn't you? Okay, so there's that. I want more of a line in the center, though, to make sure that people know it's two wings. It's not just one bean-shaped blob. Very dark and blend at the same time. Okay, so not coming across amazingly on camera, but it looks interesting in real life. We'll figure that out. Okay, now I'm going to do this side. Let's see. Hopefully you like this. It is your thing that we're creating. So yeah, this is really great television for y'all. Now go out. With a brush like this, you want to put it down so that the angled side is touching and drag it this way. You don't want to go that way, that would be bad. Just go with the angle. And it would become apparent as you're using it. Okay. And I'm going to add a little bit more. Okay, so that's very basic. And now I'm going to blend that with my relatively clean blending brush. Blending just means rubbing over the lines until it gets messy. Yeah. The technical terms that the industry doesn't want you to know. Get it up. Okay. And then thick in the center. Okay, so there's that. We are wings. They're silly, but this is a very silly thing that we're doing. So, now, I don't want to spend like 4 hours on each part because that would be really boring for all of you. Just saying. Tap, 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 put the excess back in here. I'm going to close that. I love these. I need to find an excuse to use these more. They're very fun. I'm going to put my glasses on and be able to see what you see. Okay, cool. That's what you're saying. Interesting. Yes. Yes, I'm doing the blur. Yes. There you go. See, look. You can kind of see in that camera. It's a little bit clearer. Maybe. I don't know. So, let's look down. Okay. What are all of you saying? The fairy was captured by pirates, ended taking over the ship and becoming captain, therefore a pirate mermaid fairy. Okay, but how do you get a mermaid fairy? Like, I don't know. Let's think. Okay. Just reading through your comments. I'm gonna get glitter all over this thing here. Oh yeah, Sophia, if you ever come to Maker Faire New York and I'm working it, let me know. And if any of you are going to Maker Faire New York, let me know because I want to high five you. And it's kind of like the people from Avatar. I'm not doing a whole blue face. That would be ridiculous. Finish my zombie arm with my sister. Nice. I want to see pictures on the community page. Let's see. From Brazil. Very nice to see you. And moving down. I get points. I've always wanted points. I can keep them and put them in a box with all of my other points. Yay, cool. Okay, got through the list of stuff. Woo, remember, like up more things if I haven't seen them yet, because when I'm looking away I can't like look and see. Ah, I kicked things. There's an earthquake. Just kidding, it's my foot. Okay, now we are gonna move on to, let's move on to sequins. Let's just do it. Let's not avoid the topic anymore. I'm gonna make it happen. So I'm thinking blue for the inner corner because I have a bunch of little blue ones. Unless I have some in here. I have some very, very little ones in here. So we'll see. I actually have some tiny tweezers that I can use to place these because I want them to be in a very specific place. So I'll take my little tiny tweezers and I'm going to pick out some of these. What do I have? I have greens and gold and light blue. I'm going to go light blue. I think the light blue will be cool. Even though light blue is not my color, I'm going to rock it. Or I could go white. Actually, I like the white. The white is cool. White. I'm going white. And it's got kind of an interesting tone to it as well. So put that down here. I'm just putting them on the ground so that on the paper so that I can prepare for them. Cool. Those will work. Put this little thing. They had a little bit of adhesive on them, and it's just like a tape adhesive. I'm going to use latex to put them on. This is also going to be interesting. I haven't done this on myself with no glasses before, so I'm just going to pour some of this on the table so I can deal with it, because I've got paper down. Because when you work with makeup, you just get things messy. And I'm going to move to this one and pull myself in here. And I'm just going to take the back of my tweezers and get some latex on there, and then I'm just going to dot it where I want it. I missed a little bit, but whatever. Paloma's an imperfect person. Yeah! That's my theme song to my TV show that's never coming out. Because people are just like, it's kind of imperfect. They're not super even, but if you were doing this on your own time, you would spend the time to make them even, because I believe that you would. And then you give it a little bit of time to kind of get tacky. It's very liquid right now, so I'm going to attempt to add one. Ah, no, they went flying. Ah, no. Well, those are gone forever. I'm going to pick 2 blue ones. Yeah. because that's how things happen. So I'm going to use this giant strip of blue ones that I have, actually. I just got these at a craft store. Like, they're not anything super special. And I like the idea of a dark blue, actually, because they're so dark out here. I want to balance that. I'm going to grab a dark blue one. It's just like a bunch of things on it. I think this was meant for like scrapbooking or something. But it's just sequins. No problem. Gonna try. Oh, that worked. Cool. Awesome. It's a thing. We're making it work. Great. Beeping over there. Don't know what that means. Okay. Here. Oh, you moved. Don't move. Thought we were friends. Come on, man. You're moving on so easily. That was a side that people can't see. Okay, almost on there. Just gonna move it a little more towards the blue. Okay, cool. Those are on. They're not even. Don't judge me for that. Now you can't see it, both of them. I'm happy about it. Cool. But I kind of like that. That's fun. We can play with that. A little bit better. Okay, now I'm going to add more glitter. Because we can always use more glitter. Forever. Glitter. And just glittering it up. And then I'm going to add some glitter to the wings. Let's just have it kind of glitter up and over. And then we're going to glitter down. And there's glitter on there, you can kind of see it now. Woo! I'm doing things so you can see reflection. And I'm going to do it on this side that you can see. But I would love to see your face charts of your ideas of what this would look like, should look like, could look like. Okay, so now we got some stuff. Let's see how this looks. Put my glasses on temporarily. Move this out of the way. Okay, that's kind of cool. That's kind of fun and girly. I do feel like it could use some blue eyebrows, though. I don't know why I'm thinking that, but I might as well just go for it, right? Why not? Let's try it. I could always wipe it off. So, I'm going to see if I have any bright blue eyeliner in here. I have some, like, blue other stuff. Is this blue eyeliner? That's fine. Yeah, I might just have a blue band on it. Yeah, that's black. Disappointing. We'll use powder. So, I'm going to get an angled brush because we're working on brows. And I'm going to use this lighter and darker blue that we used for everything else. And I'm going to get this here. And I'm going to pull this back over so I can see what I'm doing. And I have my glasses on now so I can see things. Can it see things? Because it's a mermaid and it's from the sea. Okay. While you have a moment to handle what just happened, I'm going to start making my eyebrows blue. Oh, this is weird but cool. I did red brows for the look last year. That was interesting. I'm doing this on a Wednesday. What am I going to do after work? Walk around with this? I can mess with Burke. I bet he's not watching. Walk over to his area and be like, hi! Oh, somebody in the room just got really happy about that. We'll see. Okay, so there's a blue brow. Now that's just one color, and it's the kind of mid color. I'm going to take this darker color and make it really dark on the bottom so that I've got like a gradient effect. These gradients look fancy. They look like you thought about it. Oh no, fallout. Oh, giant fluffy brush. Help with the fallout. Fallout means that one color fell and it's on top of everything else. We're good. We're good. We made it, guys. We made it. Ooh. Good thing I have control over my eyebrows. Okay. Back to brows. So when you're working on this, like, and if you like working on this and you're like playing around at a makeup store, and they're like, "What are you doing?" You could be like, "I'm just browsing." You're welcome for that. Browsing. Browse. Yeah. Okay, so putting this on here. And we're making an arch. And we're having a fun time. I don't do my brows very often, so they may not match. Again, if I were putting 4 hours into this, it would look perfect. You're welcome for that, Abigail. Ha ha ha. Okay, I think those are kind of cool. I mean, my brows just generally aren't even. That's not just the drawing, that's my eyebrows themselves. So one of them is more, but I'll try to give this one an arch so that way. Because I didn't draw that arch in, that arch is just there. Guys, my obsessive tendencies are making this a thing. Yeah, that's better. Okay, whatever. Moving on. That's weird. Okay. Have you ever given yourself weird colored things and then just been like, I just want to move my face and do stuff? Okay, so let's see. Next, I mean, should we do scales? Let's talk about it. Let's workshop this. Let's figure it out. So I've got my glitter here. I'm going to spend all afternoon cleaning this. And I'm just going to put some of this down on the table. I've got some blue sequins. I'm going to put some green sequins. I'm going to do some purple, a lot of purple, because I like the purple ones. And then I'm going to like shocker, put a couple of gold and silver. Because we're getting crazy. Okay, so let's turn this down so you can see what I'm working on. Okay, so let's just take and see how this looks. So I would probably do them the bowed side out, and then I would just kind of do blue, purple, and then a couple of blues, and a couple of purple, and then purple and blue, and then green. Okay, so that's like the first row. And then I'll add more blue. Man, I can hear Burke walking down the hall. He's so loud. Everybody should tell Burke that he's very loud. Okay, so adding more of these. This is looking kind of cool. This is maybe something that I would spend a lot of time on obsessing about at home. And I don't have like a silver. The silvers are interesting. And a blue, purple, and a blue. Okay, so I don't know how well this is translating, but I'm like creating rows of these. And I think I'll do one more row, and then I can put these here, and you could see what it would look like if you did this for larger amounts, and then I might be able to just put this couple on to kind of blend it. So I'll try that. Candace, could you do me a favor and get me some tape? I'm thinking that if I tape it down, and then that way I can transfer it to my face. So, oh, it's right there. Cool, awesome. Thank you, random ghost of Candace. Ooh, and that is super sticky. Cool. So I'm going to try to use that to transfer it because I'm a genius. And I'm going to put one more layer. So I want to do heavy on the blues because everything else is really blue. That's just how it's turned out. And oh, Abigail, your excitement about the blue brows makes me question them. Okay. Oh, and I think green eyebrows sound cool. I could add green. They could be a gradient. Ellie, you've had really great ideas so far, by the way. So let's add some blue. You know, I hope some of the boys are in on this, like Ashley and Harry. Somebody get them in here so they can play with sequins. Okay. So I'm thinking that this looks cool, and I'll just leave it like that as a chunk, and then after I transfer it, I'll try to add some extra ones on. We'll just try it. I've never done this before, so I don't know how it's going to turn out. I've done this before, but I did all of them up here, and I individually placed each and every one, and that took a while. So I'm not going to do that live for you because you would be incredibly bored. So. Okay, I got most of them on the tape. Cool. Now I'm just going to add a couple that didn't make it into here. I'll go in there. Oh, stay. Okay, so you're on here like this. That's the back side. And then this is the front side, so you can see that we've got some kind of layering effects there. And the back side looks really cool, but no. That would be a change of plans, and I would have to redo the tape. We're going to leave it like this. I'm going to take some of this adhesive. I had a thing. I'll use a Q-tip. And this hasn't completely gotten gross yet, so because it'll start to congeal as time goes. So I'm just going to dot the back of this with latex so that they'll start to stick to each other. And then I'm thinking if we put it on, let's do it on the side where y'all can see. If we put it on up here, that would be kind of cool. So do it on the top of my cheekbone, like a hint of scales. I'll put more on here. Okay, I'm going to have y'all sit there, and I'm going to pour some more latex so that I can cover my face in it. And so that's getting tacky right now, and then I'm just going to do you guys know why the latex couldn't go to the fashion show? It was really tacky. Yeah. These never go away. My friends are always just so over it. No, we don't want more of that. You can leave those puns at home, by the way. Okay, so I'm putting way more than I need on here. And it is under my eye, so, you know, lots of stuff. Okay, so that's a good amount. Let's just try that. New techniques. Okay, so I'm just gonna. Whoa, man, that looks weird. Okay, so now as I'm doing this, I'm gonna peel away the tape and hope that the sequins will stay underneath that because they like it there. So we're trying it out. Feel free to use other techniques that may work better. Oh, it's so messy. Okay. Oh, this could be going so much better. Well, this looks like a failure. This looks like a failure. Let's do it a different way. Because it's totally okay to fail completely. As I will show you all of the days. Okay. I want to check in with y'all. I'm just going to leave those ones on and let them get kind of in there, and then I'm going to add some more on top of it. So, add this here, and just work with it. Let's figure it out, y'all. This could work. Let's figure it out. Yeah. Okay, so there's that. They look really blatant right now. Like I just stuck some sequins on there, which I did. But now I think I'm going to try to blend some. I'm going to take a little bit more latex and put it like up here. A big dot. Ooh, I just shook you. I shook your world. Add some purple down here. And again, if you have full use of your vision, this will be easier for you. But I'm doing this far away with no glasses on. You can tell that I'm concentrating really hard because I'm quiet. Okay. I'm going to add more to the top. I don't know. I hope y'all are liking this. This is weird. Okay, I'm going to add some more blue ones at the bottom so that they look more like it's mainly blue. Oh, latex. Going through it like crazy. And take it to a shopping soon. Oh, latex, stop spilling so fast. Okay, I'll get you. Okay. I feel like I'm starting to get into a rhythm. This is kind of fun. But as soon as I say that, it's going to go terribly wrong. We'll find out together. I think after this, I'm going to add some smaller sequins. And I'm not going to do both sides of this because that would take forever and that would be a waste of your time. Okay. There we go. Okay. So we've got some big ones, but I don't think we want any big ones. We'll go to a medium-sized one. We've got light and dark blue here. I'm going to dip in the latex, the dot over here, and add in this little sequin here. Okay, and as it looks very like light right now because of the latex, but it will dry clear. So unless there's a ton of it, it should be fine. And I'm gonna add light blue ones. Maybe trail those off. And I'm not able to see very well at all. Go back. Don't you? Oh, no. What happened? Something happened. There. See there. Better. Okay. I could probably do this with my glasses at this point. Not really covering my eyes or anything. Just put one more on. And I'll check it out and make a judgment call. It'll be a very interesting judgment call. And then read all of you going, this is boring, what are you doing? That's what I assume it would sound like. Okay, let's see. That's a thing. All right. Okay, let's see what it looks like from over here. It looks like a bunch of things on my face. But it's fun. Oh, yay, Sophia posted pictures on the community page. Okay, I'll check that out. Painter's tape would work a lot better than clear tape. I just went for what I had next to me. But do it. I think it would be awesome. Let's see. Mermaid fairies are hybrid species created by the pirates. You have to do scales all over the face, exactly. I'm just checking in. Sorry if this is boring, but I'm reading through everything that you're saying. I figured you would want me to read these things. And y'all are funny. Okay. Yes. Okay. Scrolling down farther. Yes, so much farther. See what people are saying. Down to the bottom. Oh, and Ashley's on. Cool. Hi, Ashley. And I'm at the bottom. Okay, awesome. Made it through everything. Cool. So now, let's see. Should we go for scars now? We've done a lot of girly things. I mean, we still have these scars that were from the earlier on in the hangout, which I've just been rocking the whole time. I hope I didn't cover myself in the red from that lipstick. Meh. So, that probably was bothering a lot of you. I can't fix it. Okay, so let's add some green to the eyebrows, and then we'll go into our battle scars. I think we'll do rigid collodion, and but we'll start with the eyebrows. So we'll find Here's an angled brush I have not yet used. And I'm gonna, that makes a great sound now. Okay, so I'm gonna add a green to the brows. There we go. Ooh, fun. Green on the top. Awesome. Fantastic. Let's do the other side. Great. I like it. I think it's fun. Cool. Easy. Bam. Next. Okay, so now we're going to do scars, and I think we're going to do the scars over here. We're going to do one coming down from the eye. And well, I wonder if it'll look like a tear, like a scarred tear. So hardcore. Where did I put that other thing? Over here. Cool. Okay, so I'm going to get all close and personal with y'all over here. And let's see, I think we should go, I could probably do this over here now because I can use this as a mirror. Maybe we should go, like tears come from the top, usually from the center, and they go down like this. But I want it to look like it split or something, so we've got a bunch of them. So let's do one. I'll do like eyeliner that comes down and then splits. I think that would be cool. So I'll do the eyeliner in a second, but I'll start from here and pull it down. And then it's going to come off here. I think that looks cool. Now I'm going to put my glasses on and be able to fill that in and blend it. Make weird faces. Oh. Okay, now I'm going to use a smaller mirror near my face because I'm going to do eyeliner with this. So that's what it looks like so far. And now I'm going to blend. Other side. Grab the thing, which always comes out with the cap. Blend that. So this is what it looks like before. And blend, blend, blend. Do. Blend, blend, blend. More blending. With a low definition camera, it may look the same before and after blending. I'm just blending around the eye. Do that. It's kind of okay. Okay, so now we're going to be adding rigid collodion. Now I'm not going to go all the way up to my eye because it will make my eye water. And I don't want to get rid of all this other stuff. So I'm going to start from about here and go down. Now if you're doing this on yourself, I recommend that you not get close to your eye with this because of the fumes. But I'm very used to this. I've spent a lot of time kind of finding what my limits are. So I'm going to do this for y'all. Okay. Now I'm going to add rigid collodion. This thing. Oh, it smells like a thing. And the best thing about this is you can be kind of lazy with how you do it. You just have to generally follow the line because it would give a large area of this stuff. And it works best if you put it on really fleshy areas that have a lot of skin to push in. Like I can already feel it drying and pulling on my face. Hopefully it will show up. I'm adding a ton of it. Drip to the bottom. Thank you. Okay, up here, down there. Alright, you can kind of start to see it, but I'm going to do a bunch of layers of this so you can really see how awesome this stuff is. It's amazing. I'm going to do not as many near the ends because it's going to trail off. I'm going to start it right there. Okay. That's about as far up as I'm going to go, and you can already see that it's pushing the sides of my face together. You see how it's kind of wrinkling around that? So as that goes, I'm going to let it sit for a couple of minutes and then go back to it. So while that's drying, let's do weird lips. Why not? Okay. And also we're going to check on our muscles. Remember those from earlier? Okay. How are you doing? You're still pretty liquidy. Not kidding. This takes a long time to dry. So I'm going to mix my lips next to it. Actually, I'm not even really going to mix the lips. I just want two colors, two very distinct colors. I want to do a blue on the outside and a purple on the inside. I've decided. But before I do that, I am going to check to see what all of you are saying. Let me know what you think of this so far. It's got sequins, it's got scars. Oh man, that's really come across pretty well. Let's check this camera. Hello! Oh, that looks weird from afar. Awesome. Okay, so we are scrolling, and I'm going to get rid of some of these things. It's not because I don't like you, it's because I've already looked at it. Is there a faster way to do this? Oh, I can just delete them. Oh, better. Okay. And your family should already know why you're laughing so hard because of me. That's always the answer, Abigail. Always. Okay. Blue painter's tape. Great idea. Great idea. Oh gosh, this is how you wore your makeup in middle school? Goodness, Abigail, that explains so much about you. I don't want to get my elbow in that, so I'm going to move that farther over. Let's just scroll. Scrolling is faster. Let's look farther down. Oh, the scar is awesome. We like it. Cool. Fantastic. I wish I could change this to newest questions first, so that way I wasn't scrolling so much. If anyone knows that I can do that, let me know how. There's Ashley. Any tips for people wanting to get started with airbrushing? Okay, so airbrushing makeup, you just kind of fill it into this little pot and then spray it on. You want to use makeup for your airbrush, not paint, obviously. I would recommend just working on, get some colors that you really like, and then work on blending, just working on making shapes. Creating stencils is a really cool thing to do. Like you could hold a pattern stencil up, like even tape it on, and then airbrush, and then take it off, and you've got that really awesome negative pattern, and then you can outline that. I mean, there's so many cool things that you can do with it, for sure. Let's see. How do you remove all this? Good question, Sophia. So there's makeup remover. If you're using spirit gum, get spirit gum remover. That's really important. If you are using just basic makeup wipes, I just use those a lot. If you have sensitive skin, first of all, if you have sensitive skin, test everything before you do it, and then use a dedicated makeup remover in like small, gentle circles to create that. And then if you want to work on taking off some of like the rigid collodion, like I'll do an update on what my hand looks like. You can see how it's already starting to peel around the edges, around here. You can see in the back it's peeling a little bit, and that's because this is an area that moves a lot. So I can just like pull that off, and there you go, done. No big deal. So as I move throughout the day, this will just want to pull off. You can also just use soap and water to kind of help it come off. And this one is really pushing in. I'm going to add more because I'm crazy. Take some of this, dip it on here. Very high in the fumes department. If you are sensitive to that, do not do this. I am surprisingly not sensitive to that kind of stuff. Okay. More things. Okay. Scroll down and check in on your campers. I just keep reading the ones that say, Paloma, you are perfection. I'm so happy about it. I love it. Do, 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 do. And then I can't sing any more of that because of copyright infringement. And I saw someone that said epic singing. Y'all are great. Cool. Down to the bottom. Awesome. Done. Checked in. Saw how you were doing. Seems that you're doing well. Cool. And I will check out those scars on the community page afterwards, for sure, because I want to go there now because of bandwidth things. But now, this is not purple. This is not purple. Do I have a purple? I do have a purple. I have so many of these colors. They're really fun. These lip tar colors. Honestly, you don't need that much of them, and they're really pigmented, as you'll see. So it's like a little drop about the size of a candy dot, and that will probably cover my entire lip. And I'm going to be careful with these because if I get them outside of my lip, it will look really weird. So here's a brush, and I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna do this. It's gonna happen. Okay. I'm gonna get a mirror on my little compact here. Surrounded by so many me's. Okay. This blue going here. Okay, and I'm just gonna put it on the outside and then do the purple inside. And I can't talk while I'm doing this, so enjoy the silence. Okay, just appreciate how amazingly pigmented that is. Like I dipped this in and took it out and it's still going. I'm just going to fill everything in and I'll go over in purple. That's amazing. I barely need any of this. Oh, I look so middle school. No, I got a little bit outside, but that's okay. We're not perfectionists here. We're artists. We're just letting things happen. We're exploring the medium of makeup. Okay, so now we'll go in here and just add purple to the center. Play that out. This looks weird, but kind of cool. Look at that. Oh, you can't quite see it. Oh, I have more. I'll get a lighter color. I'll get more of a pink, more of a true pinky purple, and then I'll add that, and you'll be able to see it pretty well. Ooh, this is fun. It's weird, but fun. Okay, you can kind of see it on there. I'll move to the other camera. Hopefully you can see it more. Ah, this is weird. I look weird, guys and gals. I look weird. But it's fun. It actually looks kind of interesting on like in person because you can really see the color change. And again, I will post pictures of my shame and weirdness that you're making me do on the community page. Okay, what's next? I think that's everything that we really had planned. We were doing scars, scales, wings, brows, and lips. I'm gonna add something else to the lips because I just feel like they're not bright enough. Like the blue is really bright, but the center isn't that bright. So I'm gonna work on that for a second and make them super duper bright. I could just build up with this pink color in the center. Way more. Get a whole bunch of it. Never stop playing with it. And if you have any more suggestions for anything that you want to see next, any other techniques, start putting them in there because I'll read them in a bit. And plus them up so I see them easier. Okay, I think that's about it. Let me move it over here and you can see it a little bit better. You can see that there's like a lighter color and it ombres. I got some on my teeth because, you know, I'm an adult. So here's that pirate mermaid fairy. And a smile, it looks really weird. I think this could be really fun if you like got a lot of them and did this whole like really blended it and got them really awesome. I wish I had the fishnet so I could show you that technique because that was a really, really fun technique. And I talked about it in the beginning, but I'll mention it again. If you take fishnets, you kind of squash them and then you powder over them, you'll get that crisscross pattern. And then you can take do that with like a mid-tone color and then do a dark tone on the bottom of those diamonds and then do a lighter tone on the top and you'll get that gradient of color. I'll check through here to see what all of you are saying. I should put sequins on the lips. I don't want to walk around like that all day. Plus, I'd have to put latex on my lips. I don't know that I necessarily want to do that. That sounds uncomfortable. Let's see. I think that's pretty much, oh, yeah, there we go. Somebody likes the lips. Ooh. I'll put it over here. Ooh, wow, hi. Okay, also, Abigail, you were wondering about this the other day. This is made by Intertech. That's the mirror that I'm using. It's got a light, so I'll turn that off now. I've got light behind it as well, so. But that's what I've been using to be able to see myself. And Now am I happy about everyone wanting a pirate mermaid fairy? Sure. All of you are crazy and awesome, but also crazy. And hello, the person who said hi with a bunch of question marks. And let's see. This seems like I'm pretty current with Sally looked from the night before Christmas. I've seen that done really well. If you check YouTube, you can find some tutorials. I would recommend starting with checking how your skin handles grease paint. If your skin reacts and you break out a lot with grease, I might not start with grease paint for that one, but you can do grease paint and then follow that with mid-tone blue, light blue, and dark blue, and contour that in a really great way, and then adding everything in. You can do really cool stuff. Somebody should have said that earlier. That would have been a fun thing to try to do. Just checking through here to see if anything else new has come up. Just a bunch of things about eye patches. But I don't really want to do an eye patch because that means I'd have to go and get something to make an eye patch out of. I don't have any scissors, so I can't do that. What can we do to make it more piratey? This doesn't feel very piratey. Nice, Sophia. Your mom said that she works at a hospital and it was... okay, hold on. I had an itch. I have an itch. Great. Okay. Piratey. Can't do skull and crossbones. Can't do. Oh, as a gift, I have to wear this all day. Isn't my presence a gift enough, Abigail? Goodness gracious, all of you. Just ridiculous. Also, I still have this one on. That's going to gross people out a lot. So I've got these two. My gross power-up. And oh my gosh, it's 3:22. We've been doing this for an hour and a half. So I think that might be pretty much everything. These muscles, they are just not quite done. They're getting close, but they're just not quite done. So I don't think that I can do those today. But if you check out the Make Believe playlist on the Make YouTube page, you can find out how to use those in a really interesting way. If you go to youtube.com/make, I think it's something called lizard skin makeup tutorial. And I took Jason Babler and I made him have like lizard skin here, and it covers a lot of really great techniques. So that's another great place to learn. And I think I'm going to head off and try to clean this up and figure out what to do with my face. And yeah, I hope that all of you had fun, and I'll keep interacting with you on the Google Plus community page and post your pictures, and I'll post a picture of this up close, this craziness. And yeah, I just thank you for letting me share this weirdness with you, and I'll talk to all of you later. All right, bye.